What do getting in shape, developing a healthy relationship, and building a successful business have in common? They're developed over time through tons of minimal activities that compound the more we do them. So it's clear that it's never going to happen that you just do one big thing and you reach your goal. It's impossible to get fit on one day, have a successful business just with one action. It's all about doing the small every day. And this could be something like going for a walk, which now that I have a dog is much easier. Or schedule a daily 30-minute conversation with your partner. Or taking 20 minutes per day to cold DM prospects for your side hustle. So all these small actions are going to add up to get us where we want to be. And these small actions is what we call habits. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips that is going to make sticking to your habits much easier and a tool that is going to help you along the way. It's going to be your habits companion. Okay, so let's get started. Sticking to habits is difficult. This I know. We even forget that we have committed to do them. Or even once it's not something new anymore and the novelty wears off, we just stop doing them. This happened to me like a million times with meditation, for example. But we all agree of the importance that habits have, right? And habits is not just like drinking some liters of water, like meditation, all these kind of things. So we have seen that even for building a successful business, we need to rely on habits and systems, but this is for another video. So here's the 5 things that through some research and through experience, I have found out that can help habits become less of a burden and even more enjoyable. Okay, the first one is self-compassion. Because as I said, forming habits is not easy. And it's more than normal to have setbacks, to have periods where we even forget that we are following any habit whatsoever. So it is important to be kind to ourselves so we don't go on a downward spiral just thinking that we are not worth it. We are a person that don't kind of follow what we said that we are gonna follow, and so all this is just going to cause negativity. So the first thing that we need is self-compassion to just accept this shit is hard. That's fine. I failed. I'm just gonna continue because I just know it's hard. So it's fine. I'm not worse because I failed. So for me, this would be tip number 1. Then tip number 2 is to first identify your goals and then build habits around them. Because as I said before, if we just want to master the habit of, drinking water without any real goal, stick to it, it's kind of meaningless. It's empty. We don't really feel it. So we will just resort to willpower. And willpower is also quite limited. So what do you want? Do you want to learn a new skill? Guitar, for example. I have it there. Okay, so your habit is going to be play 30 minutes or practice 30 minutes of guitar every day or 5 days a week, something like that. That is your habit because you have a goal. I want to improve my health because I feel I don't have energy. Okay, maybe let's start by what I said before, by having a walk, 30 minutes per day. That's fine. I have a goal. I have a habit that is going to help me with the goal. So that will be tip number 2. Now, tip number 3, the art of starting small. Why do I say this? Because typically we listen habits advice from people who have been, mastering their habits for 5 years, 10 years. And their habits are already like very, very ingrained in the way that they are. So they're already part of themselves. So probably they're not habits anymore. I don't know. But we cannot compare ourselves to those people because those people maybe are already used to going to the gym 6 times for 2 hours per day. But we cannot get there. We may have to just start by walking 20 minutes per day or even 3 times per week. And that is it. That will be our success. And if you have already mastered the 20 minutes 3 times per week walking, maybe you can graduate to 5 times per week. Or even in the future, you can start going to the gym, but 3 times per week. So by always starting small and having quick wins, we're going to make sure that we will have the self-esteem and we're going to believe in ourselves much more to continue the trend and to start this upward spiral. And tip number 4, accountability. Having someone to hold you accountable for your habit formation efforts is super helpful. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a professional coach if you want. And in real life and plain words, how does this look like? Okay, I am planning on having daily walks from now on. I'm gonna tell my partner, hey partner, from now on, I'm gonna be the guy that is gonna do daily walks. Feel free to ask me whether I have done it or not, whenever you want. And just by knowing that person may ask you about your habit, this is going to kind of force you to do the habit more often because of the fear that the person is going to ask you and you will say, okay, no, I was a failure. I didn't do it. And just by this, we will tend to do our habits more. Of course, this will apply maybe to 1 or 2 habits, but we cannot tell the person, hey, I'm gonna do these 10 things. Keep me accountable for everything. Okay? We also have to start small with this new habit of having accountability. You see what I did there, right? Okay, and finally, the 5th tip is tracking our habits. And this has many benefits. The simple act of tracking our habits tells our brain that, okay, this is what we are doing right now. Now we are a person who follow the habits. We are doing this. Also, by having the habit tracker always visible, for example, if you know that I'm a Notion nerd, so by having our habit tracker in Notion next to the tasks, for example, that we do during the day, is going to be a reminder that, hey, these are the X number of habits that you have to do. So it's also a reminder. And finally, if we do the habit tracking digitally, we will be able to look at our past data and understand in which of the habits we are falling behind. We may have the gut feeling, but it's so much better to see it with real numbers like, okay, my meditation totally sucks. I have to focus on this. So maybe next week, this is gonna be my focus. 5 days of meditation. Let's do it. And regarding habit trackers, like I think it was 2 years ago, I built what I think and I still believe that is the best habit tracker built in Notion. But since then, 2 years ago, a lot has happened. Notion has released a lot of features and even the API that is going to allow us to create some automations, and I needed to update it. And why? Because now it is so much easier to use, it gives us more data, and we can even automate almost everything. So the only thing that we need to do is just to click some boxes for checking the habits. So let me show you a little bit around. So this is gonna be the first page that people arrive on. And I have built this onboarding process, which is something that you just have to go through once. And it's mainly meant to explain users how the system works, which is pretty easy, and also to allow them to enter their habits data, like the name of the habits, for example. So here we have 10 habits, and so people can change the name of the habits everywhere. Then finally, something that I haven't seen yet in any habit tracker is this one, the ability to set the frequency that we want to do the habits, because normally we cannot take for granted that we want to do the habits every day, but sometimes that is not the case. I want to go to the gym, for example, 3 times per week. So I want that the system tells me, hey, you are successful when you have gone 3 times this week to the gym. That's it. This is like 100% green smiley face. So this is what we can do over here. And then finally, well, this is a little bit more technicality, but to add the new week that is going to serve us to calculate the success or failure of the habits week by week. Then this page is going to be the page that we are going to do for tracking daily. That, of course, we can now create this automatically with a guide that I have created over here, how to create each new day automatically. Because before we needed to create this manually, like every time, click on new, type today's date, link it to the current week, and then tracking the habits. Now all of this can be done automatically, except the tracking of the habits, of course. And finally, this is the dashboard that this shows you a couple of things. First, how is the overall week going? This is the current week, and this tells me which is the average of the habits that I have done this week. So for example, today is Friday, and I have just logged 2 days of habits, as you can see in this example. So I have a 34% average, and this is represented by this red line. Of course, everything is explained here, what everything is. And if you want to modify the ranges, go here. So everything is completely customizable. And finally, this is a more granular view of the habits. For example, in here, I'm just tracking 3 habits. So probably I should hide the rest of these 4 habits. And I will look at this. What is cool about this is that it tells me 3 things. 1, if this is red, this means that there is no way that this week I'm going to be able to get to the frequency that I wanted to get. So I already failed. Nothing I can do about it, even if every remaining day of the week I go to the gym, that's it, I failed. If it turns like this with this exclamation mark, this means that I have to go every remaining day of the week to the gym in this habit case in order to succeed. And if it's green, everything is on track. Even I can lose minimum 1 day and everything will be on track. So I'm still on track for habit number 3, but for these 2, I have already failed. Nothing to do here. I will just have to accept it. And finally, how all this is going to look over time. Like this. Here I don't have so much data because this is the test dashboard, but you will see all these little colors regarding all the habits throughout all your life with the average per month. So this will be my average for December. I mean, of course, I just have 1 entry, so the average of 34 is 34. But yeah, you will have your monthly averages over here and with more data regarding the habits. This is now red because what this is telling me is only that I'm on track, not that I have succeeded. Okay. At the end of the week, if I have succeeded, this is gonna turn green. Okay. And then finally, something that I have added, feedback from everybody that has purchased this template, which by the way is my best seller template. So I have added here some guides on the things that people typically ask me about. How to add more than 10 habits with a little guide, how to create each new day for logging automatically with a video tutorial, how to create each new week automatically, because we will need to create every week, and now we can do it automatically. And even within Notion, we don't need any third-party app. How to track non-binary habits, like, I don't know, I want to drink 2 liters of water and I want to log how many liters of water I have drank. So this is a non-binary habit, and so on. And what is even cool is that if you're already a Notion user and you manage your tasks within Notion, you could simply just pop this view right to your tasks. And this is going to be your constant reminder that, hey, Danny, or however your name is, you need to do these habits today. And I'm here warning you that, hey, habits. And yes, so this is always going to be on your face, which, by the way, is something that I have over here. This is my personal tasks database. As you can see, I'm recording this video right now, and this is my habits of today. So this is the constant reminder. So if you want to get this habit tracker, you will find it in the description of this video, of course, with this new version with all the updates that I just talked about. And I also hope that this video was helpful. That is it from my side, and as always, hasta la próxima.